Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Felipe Valdez. I am the Geographic Information Systems Specialist at Temple University Libraries. And today I'm going to be showing you a project we've been collaborating with in the city of Philadelphia, which is called Philly Community Wireless. So I'm going to start telling you a little bit more about what Philly Community Wireless is and what we do. And then I'm going to be showing you some ways we are using maps and OpenStreetMap data to continue expanding the network and involve more people on our project. So we are a community tech organization, a community-controlled wireless network. It's mainly based or managed by volunteers and funders, and we have a local internet provider as a collaborator that is Philly Whisper. The idea was originally created during, or it was started during the pandemic. A lot of people lost internet connection, and it was very important to bring connection to those people in the neighborhoods of North Philadelphia. So we believe that internet access is a human right. That's the main approach that has Philly Community Wireless, is not only providing internet, but also creating awareness of how important accessing to internet is, and involving the community in this effort is very important. So PCW leveraged wireless mesh technologies to build decentralized, large-scale public Wi-Fi networks, providing baseline connectivity in dense urban areas, both in residences and public spaces. That's another difference between us and the commercial providers. So if you're not familiar with wireless internet and mesh networks and how they work, what we do is we connect the different antennas in the top of different buildings. So our main provider, Philly Whisper, who donates part of their bandwidth to Philly Community Wireless, they have these big antennas on some of the largest buildings in the city, and we point these antennas and get their signal, and we bring it into the buildings of the neighbors in North Philadelphia, and from there, using access points, we can broadcast internet to public spaces. So that way, we cover private and public spaces at the same time. So why community-controlled internet? So this is a principled approach to technology that is grounded in the struggle for a more just digital ecosystem, placing value on equity, participation, common ownership, and sustainability. So this control by the community involves more than a shared possession. It includes neighbors envisioning and contributing to their environment, the community control of network topology and protocols, cooperative decision-making towards growth, and collaborative teaching and learning. And these two last are the ones that we are introducing mapping to. So as I mentioned before, this is an effort that was that began during the pandemic. And in 2021, the city of Philadelphia conducted a survey, and one of the most important outcomes of the survey was that 90% of Philadelphia households consider a monthly internet bill above $20 too expensive. So internet access is not only having the infrastructure, but also having the ability to access to it. So here in these maps, you see that circle, that purple circle. There's where the project is mostly concentrated. These are the neighborhoods of Kensington and Huntington. And as you can see, these are neighborhoods that have a very high Latino and Black population, and they don't have a lot of internet coverage right now, compared to the rest of the city, of course. So we started partnering with different community networks that exist around the country, New York City Mesh, Community Tech New York, Detroit Community, among others. And we learned from them a lot and started building this community effort. So it has been growing in the last few years. We have more than 100 volunteers, more than 29 light beams, which are the main connections to the antennas of the provider, and more than 75 access points through North Philadelphia. These are the types of public space or open spaces that we install internet for neighbors to access. So these are community gardens and public spaces that are used in North Philadelphia. These are some of our signages that we put on these spaces. So mapping the future of Philly's public internet. So the first thing we started doing was improving the public-facing map of Philly Community Wireless so that the community and other people can see how the network is built and it's growing. So we passed from the image you see on your left to the map you see on your right, where we have like more ability to show the network topology. So we have different types of connections. We have connections that are entirely wireless, and we also have connections that are wired between the buildings. So it's a very complex network, and we were able to show that using open source and OpenStreetMap data. And we started, with the volunteers, we started bringing that information or that data into OpenStreetMap. So you can see there's a QR code that brings you to Overpass Ultra map where we have all our network mapped. And we started using and teaching our volunteers how to use and how to edit OpenStreetMap using these tags. Internet access WLAN. We started using internet access SSID Philly Community Wireless, although the network is open. We don't have any passwords to use the network. We also started a whole conversation around the tag of internet access fees, because that's not something that it's updated in other points of the network. And so we have our volunteers working on that too. So during COVID, there were other ways to access internet. The city of Philadelphia started some efforts to keep on bringing internet to the people, especially in these neighborhoods. So there are some public Comcast and AT&T Wi-Fi hotspots. There's another project that is called Link PHL, which are kiosks that are located mainly in Center City, Philadelphia. There's Wi-Fi access at all 3 Library of Philadelphia locations, and there are other outdoor accessible Wi-Fi hotspots. So the problem is that these are mainly located in Center City and are located in areas where you have to either go inside or be part of either a community or a club or something to access to that internet, or be a consumer. That's the case of Link Philly, which is concentrated in Center City. These live zones that were provided by Comcast also are located in police athletic leagues, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, community and recreation center, and some playgrounds right now. So the city right now, it's planning on installing 183 or providing 183 rec centers with Wi-Fi, but this Wi-Fi is for the indoor area of the rec center, so it's not for the entire outdoor. And it's only 183 rec centers. So some of our volunteers started this application where you can map some of the Wi-Fi that is available, and you can, or users can rate the signal and can give more information on what's going on. So we thought, why not bring that into OpenStreetMap using the infrastructure that is there already? So we started that effort. We are constantly bringing our volunteers to update the data in OpenStreetMap on how, if the network is accessible, if it's free, if you have to be a consumer to access the network, if there is any password to access the network, if there are any fees. I think I mentioned that. So this brought us to a very complicated or motivating discussion on what free means, right? And that's what we are trying to push forward in our project, what free internet means. So there are many different ways to access these or to to start talking about this. Is the network private or public? Is the access indoor or outdoor? Why having outdoor internet is important in a city as Philadelphia? What's the bandwidth? What's the signal strength? Are there content restrictions? And a lot of these things cannot be answered just using the tags that exist in OpenStreetMap. However, we continue doing that to improve the data we have in the city. So we have other side projects within Philly Community Wireless. One of them is, along with installing internet, we install air monitors, and that's bringing another issue we debate with people around the community. How is the air quality around Philadelphia? We've been installing these in the last 2 years, I think. We've been using open source tools to assess the signal in the outdoor spaces. So you see there an example of an application using Kobo Toolbox. And yeah, that's mainly what we've been doing. Right now, we are discussing on creating some sort of a guide on how to update Wi-Fi hotspots in OSM. So we invite you, if anyone's interested on learning more about that or contributing to that, please consider joining us. We have a Slack channel, Philly Community Wireless. If you are able to donate to support community Wi-Fi in Philadelphia, we also take volunteers. You don't need to be in Philadelphia to be a volunteer. We have many different ways we can use your knowledge. And if you have any more questions, you can contact PCW at our social media or at our email address. So yeah, just to finish with these 2 questions right here. How would your life be different if the internet were publicly available in most areas of the city? And what do you need to navigate finding public Wi-Fi throughout the city? Okay, so are there any questions?
Hi, think there's... Thanks for the presentation, really appreciate this. Thank you. I'm a planner and I work with municipalities here in the Boston area on issues of digital equity. So agree, we don't have great data sources on public internet access points. Some of our municipalities are interested in getting started with something like a mesh network. So I'm really curious, like, how did you all start? I think kind of, is it actually run centrally? Is there a legal entity? Is it completely decentralized?
It's mostly decentralized, but we started like a more centralized entity a couple of years ago when we started hiring people in permanent positions. For example, we have a communications coordinator, we have 2 people that are in charge of doing the installs, but at the beginning it all was volunteer-centered.
And are they employees of Temple or another organization?
No, so most of them are volunteers.
Okay.
Most of them, I can say, are students or recently graduates from some of the schools around the area, including Temple, but also UPenn. And yeah, we do some of the outreach, and they learn about the project, and they decide they join. And that's how we started hiring people in a more permanent basis.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Any other questions? I think probably have one more minute. Okay. Thank you.